And I'm back. You can all let me know in about 30 seconds whether you can hear me. No trick-or-treaters. It's only a, 5-mile ride from anyone else's house to get here. About 2 miles. No echo. Okay. So I had a browser up with YouTube running and showing the video, and I think that may have been the problem. Of course, I was also running the game, which might make a difference, so we'll see how that does. So I'm going to launch the Steam version of the game, and when I make it full screen, it will magically show up back in this window. Magically show up in this window. Where's my game? Ah, there it is. Alright, we are back in the game, and this time I cleverly saved the game before I left. So I'm going to load game, and I have day 2 at 4:25 p.m. in practice room. We can pick up right where we left off. It's talking with Katie and commiserating at Cesare being a jerk. But maybe I should do my own practice. Let's try these target dummies. These targets appear to be roaring their terrible roars and gnashing their terrible teeth. Let's look at the monster target. You don't intimidate me much. Let's sneak past the monster target. Doesn't seem to notice me. Probably because his eyes are painted on. Taunt the monster target. Would then you like to be a real monster? Well, you never will. And finally, attack the monster target. And this is unfair. He's a lot more durable than I am. So Sean's a bad enough fighter at the beginning of the game that he can't even handle a wooden target. That's a great little vignette. Oh, it's almost time for dinner. We're going to ignore that dinner bell and come over here and do our fitness training. Practice with dumbbells. Just watch. Gasp. Watch. Watch how easy I make this look. I'm starving. I need to find the dining hall before it closes. Now, this is one of the few places where we teleport you directly to the dining room. You don't have to actually walk all the way there. That's a secret for beginning players. You don't actually have to walk to the dining room. And you want to use every minute you can of this game to do stuff because there's so much to do. Sean the Stud Muffin. After all, even the best played hands of Weiss and Ben oft blow away. Is that supposed to be funny? Well, it's really funny to a bridge player. He says it's really funny to me, except she wrote the joke, and I've never heard of either Weiss or Ben, so it isn't funny to me either. My reaction was, who's Weiss and Ben? Which was very similar to Esme's reaction to who's D in the first joke. But apparently in this fictional universe, there are some famous bridge players named Weiss and Ben. And Katie says, here we play Poobah rather than bridge. You do? When? Where? And one might ask, what's Poobah? In the rec room, there is a game table where we play. We don't play very often, usually just after an exam or before a holiday. If you spend many evenings in rec room, at least some of us do. Sounds like I should spend some time in the rec room then. And Turk comes in. This is not the place for dilly-dallying, people. Clean up your mess and get on with your business elsewhere. Oh no, red flames and blue flames. No, blue flames are actually very good against ghostly things. Um,
Yeah, the
red.
trouble was that it wasn't blue in the game.
Yeah, the trouble was it wasn't blue in the game, but no, there's compassion is blue, honor is yellow, and justice is red. Actually, there's another background behind the flaming swords, uh, and that is goes back to the magical traditions of Aleister Crowley and Anton LaVey, uh, and to Star Wars, where they have the lightsabers, where your beginner's lightsaber has a white laser beam on it, but the Darth Vader with his it's either an evil lightsaber or maybe just an advanced one has a red flame, and I believe that Obi-Wan Kenobi has a blue flame. So it really shows the degree of mastery. So uh, a relatively inexperienced paladin is going to have a red flame, saying that they're just starting to learn. They've only got the coolest form of flame, but as they build up, they go to yellow and then to blue flames as they get really advanced with the weapon. So a true master of the paladin's flaming sword will have a blue flame. Lesser paladins, they have less hot flames. So Turk sends us all out of the dining room. And we're now in the hallway, and it's 7 p.m. on day 2. What can I do? Well, I could go over to the there's the infirmary. Is it closed? Listen at the door. Nothing. Everyone must be gone for the night. Open the door. It's locked. Pick the lock. I can let that stop me. I can't pick the lock. Guess you need some more practice. Let's see what's over here. There's a thing that says store. Listen at that. Nothing. This door just gave me an earache, but you did get some perception practice. Let's try opening it. And it turns out the reason you couldn't hear anything is that the door is the top of a long flight of stairs. And here's the ratty Gregor. Greetings, young master. To the university store, Gregor welcomes you. I am Gregor. Gregor is my name. How may Gregor serve the young master? I've never used that voice before, but I kind of like it, so I think I'll stick with it. Now, I'm no more prejudiced than the next man, but a giant rat in a suit is our shopkeeper. The shelves are neatly lined with school supplies at fabulous back-to-school prices, much as Hero U Rogue Redemption currently is on both Steam and GOG.com. We have some sales going. I wasn't allowed to announce them in advance because Steam has rules in these things, but there is a Halloween sale going on Steam. Just they said through tomorrow. I don't know if that means it ends today or it ends tomorrow. And GOG, we've got a 2-week sale going on. We're actually doing some testing on what happens with sales. The market for indie games is really very difficult. And one of the things is that Steam does so many sales that they have trained players that you should always buy games on sale. And so we find that, talking with other developers, we find that basically nobody buys the game at full retail price. But the moment you put it on sale, everybody that was had it wish listed, or and we don't even know if it's the sale itself or if it's the price point. But all of a sudden, people are willing to buy the game. We price the sale higher than most other indie games, but it is really a mid-range production with over $1 million development cost. So we felt we could justify a higher price point, but we get some kickback. That's not the word. Some people find it pricey, and other people realize that we're actually selling it for 1/5 of the price that Sierra sold our games back in the 90s after inflation adjustment. So we think we're bringing a pretty good deal on a huge game. I can look at the shelves or on the shelves. I'll look on the shelves. Textbooks, clothes, weapons, potions, equipment. I've got everything except tasty snacks. Ah, well, obviously we need to find Gregor some tasty snacks so he'll be able to stock them. Talk to Gregor. Ask about the store. What sorts of things do you sell here? Gregor sells many things here at the shop. Official university clothes in official university colors. Healing things. Official disbarred class instruments and tools. Many, many other good things. Very good things. Gregor has bright, shiny new lockpicks for sale, just what the good master needs. What do I do if I don't have any money to buy things? No money, poor young master. Master Sean could work for Chef Kina in the dining hall. Or Master Sean could go hunting in the wine cellar for drats. Ask about hunting drats. What's this about, hunting drats? The wine cellar is full of luscious, succulent drats. Gregor is happy to purchase any drat parts Master Sean finds. Never mind that you have to kind of take them off the drats. Ask about work in the dining hall. There's work in the kitchen? You mean cooking? I don't know much about that. My mother fixed all the meals at home. If Master Sean wishes to learn about cooking, he should take a culinary class here. You should speak with Chef Kina in the dining hall. And ask about Gregor. What exactly are you? Gregor like that. Gregor buys and sells things here at the shop, so Gregor is shopkeeper. No, I mean, what kind of creature are you? I've never met anyone like you before. Ah, Gregor is a ratty. Ratty people here in Caligari all the time, but hide from humans in the old city underground. Humans think ratties are bad. Humans think ratties are rats. Ratties are not rats. Ratties take you are what you eat seriously. Good thing ratties eat more rats than cockroaches. Heh, 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 that is a ratty joke. And say goodbye. See you later. Gregor grieves to see the young master go, but Gregor will rejoice when the young master returns. Good journeys to you, and happy hunting. Let's shop at the school store. I have 0 lira. Don't think I'm going to be able to buy much. There's a nice shirt for 15. School uniform jacket for 20. Beginner's Guide to Lockpicks for 12, but I can just read that in the library. Why would it go here? Get a set of lockpicks for 10. They might be a little better than my wooden ones. And done. That's, wine cellar is right this way. Let's go to the wine cellar. Sit at the door. See, good thieves from D&D know you always listen at every door. And nasty DMs always put, ear traps on them. Let's open the door. Before the young master enters into danger, Gregor wishes to make sure that Master Sean is prepared for danger. I do hope you have some sort of weapon with which to defend yourself. And so I can show Gregor my weapon. If I had come here earlier in the game, before I had visited the wardrobe and gotten my dagger, he wouldn't let me through here at all. I'm fully prepared for any danger. Please be careful, young man. There are many dangers in there. Oh, and if you see a door marked very dangerous, please do not open that door. Just stay where it is. Just stay where it is only a little bit dangerous. Why? What's behind that door? Gregor is uncertain how to answer Master Sean. Gregor only knows that something very large and very scary moves behind the door. Don't worry, I know how to take care of myself. As Sean will still learn, that might be an exaggeration. He's coming into danger. Who knows what evils lurk in the heart of the cellar? That's a line from the old radio play, The Shadow. The ratty knows, the shadow knows. This place smells musty and sharp, like the smell of vinegar. I guess most of the wine here must have spoiled. There are all sorts of creepy scuttling noises that I can barely hear. I hope they're just rats. See, we haven't had our sneaking class yet. Could be dangerous. There's a neatly arranged collection of dusty, empty bottles. Wonder if there's anything useful in there. Let's see, what do we have here? Looks like a bunch of wine bottles with the corks all gnawed off. Uh-oh, there is a drat running in place in the corner. Most of these are empty, and some of these are broken. Let's take a wine bottle. Good. If something attacks me, I can throw this bottle at it. So even the empty wine bottles are good for something. Take a wine bottle. Ah, that makes two. Another bottle in my throwing weapon collection. Now, the reason the drat was running in place is because there is real-time movement, but we freeze it during dialogue. Now, I just clicked on it, and that put me into a special combat mode. And you'll see, once again, the action is frozen, and that's because we did not want this to be a Twitch game. We wanted it to be one where you would actually think about strategy and have different things you could do. So I could throw either my throwing knife or one of those empty wine bottles. So wine bottles are cheap. Let's go throw a wine bottle. Just removed empty wine bottle. Did him a tiny bit of damage. And he comes and hits me for a little more damage. Just looking good. Let's attack back. Oh, I got a critical hit on him. Almost hit him with one. Uh-oh! Another drat coming. I can back off a little ways. Throw my other wine bottle. Alright, took that one down. But the other one moves pretty fast. It got right to me, and I'm down to 2/3 health. This could be dangerous. Looks like attacking is doing a lot more damage than throwing, so let's hit him. Unfortunately, he's kind of squishy. And another hit takes him down. Sean does a little dagger twirl. We have various random animations you get after combat. The drat has seen better days, or at least ones on which it was alive. And we have acquired dead drat. Gregor seems to want me to hunt these dratted dire rats. I'll hold on to this one as proof. And I can search the other one. Dead dire rat. Yum yum. If we try to search one again, it'll say nothing left but fleas. Meanwhile, on our character sheet, we've only fought 2 dire rats. Our health is 15 out of 23. Might be able to go a little deeper into here, but this place sure is dangerous. It's a rat's nest. I wonder if there's anything good in there. Let's pick through the nest. Supposedly, pawing through droppings can make you sick, but these are pretty old and dry. I think it would make me retch either way, though. So Sean doesn't want to deal with that. Can wander through here. We'll be a lot safer in here once we have some stealth and don't have to fight every dire rat we see. I have thrown all my bottles, so let's try a throwing knife. Hopefully I won't lose it, but you can see that did a lot of damage. So that was a good start before it could hit me. I landed a glancing blow for 1 hit point. Glancing blows were something we introduced that original D&D, you basically had to roll a 2-hit on a 20-sided die, and as a level 1 character you typically needed like a 16 or an 18 on a 20-sided die to hit anything. And so almost every attack was a miss. And it's not that exciting. So what we did is we turned most of the misses into glancing blows to just do 1 or 2 points of damage. And that way there's a little bit more excitement in combat. And another drat part for Gregor. So let's get out of here before any more drats come and chew us up. Ah.
We can't actually see the talkers anymore.
Interesting. Let's go to... Let's try it like this. All right. Was I still live while I was doing all that? How does that look?
Let's see.
4 and 30 seconds.
Better, yeah.
Okay. Possibly made it a little smaller than it needs to be, but you get the general idea. Sean says, now I'm no more prejudiced than the next man, but he's already done that. As I said, the look-at lines are all the same. So we're going to sell loot to Gregor. I found these in the dungeon. Very good work, Master Sean. Please come back if you find any more drats or brooches in the dungeon. Brooch? It's a brooch. I'm happy to buy them from you. And he added 6 lira, so we got 2 lira for each of our parts, but most of his things cost 10 or more, so we're still poor. Ask about Gregor. How are things with you today? Things are very good for Gregor. The young master is here again. Perhaps he has some nice drats for Gregor? Let's shop at the school store. Maybe it's something I can afford. We're told chalk was important. That's 1 lira. We can afford that. How about oil? 5 lira. Well, I'll take the rest for money, but now we have some oil. Now we can oil squeaky hinges. Probably can't breathe fire out of our mouth, though. If I wanted to sell things, I could sell the oil back, but it'll only give me 2 lira for it. It cost me 5, so that wouldn't be a very good transaction. Wholesale versus retail. It's like shopping at a used bookstore. If you sell a book back, it's you're lucky if they pay you a quarter of what they charge you. There sure are a lot of stairs in this place. And we're up to 8 o'clock. I wonder if the kitchen's still open. Maybe I can make some money there. Listen at the door. It's quiet in there. Open door. Ah, you be the new one, says Fataya Kina. Welcome to the wonders of the university and the chance to learn whatever you wish. I am Chef Kina. I teach the art of fine cuisine. Riki, she be helping Chef Kina. Riki, she be kitchen boss. Yes, Riki helps me make sure that the students, they learn, and the food, it is great. Now, Riki is a ringaju, which is a made-up creature for the game. It's a cross between a ring-tailed cat and a kinkajou, which you can look up on Wikipedia and find out what a kinkajou is. So we have knowledge of the world in this game, but all a little twisted. I'm Sean O'Connor. I'm in the row disbarred bard class. Well, Mr. Sean, what do you think of the school so far? Actually, my name is just Sean. Ah, Mr. Just Sean. I do not think you are just anyone or anything. So for now, you will be Mr. Sean to me. We can talk to Riki the Rinkajou. That's Pet Riki. Would you like me to stroke your fur? Nope. Riki should not be a pet. Keep your hands to yourself. Great, Riki. Hello, little critter. Riki, she is not little critter. Riki, she be person. Riki, she be ringajou. She be important. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's okay. Riki, she accept your apology. Oh, good now. Hi. Maybe I'd rather talk to Fataya. Hey. Say something polite, intelligent, or snarky. Well, I think I better stay on her good side, so I'll be polite. This place is impressive and the food is really good. I've never tasted anything like it before. She like that? You will soon be tasting meals from all over the world. Each land has its own flavors, its own methods, its own philosophies about food. My class will be exploring many of these cuisines. So let's ask about cooking class. So why do you teach here? What does cooking have to do with being a hero? It doesn't seem like the sort of skill that saves lives. Chefs, they bring the world together. They show that no matter where people are from, we all share a love of certain flavors and tastes. Food has no borders. It brings pleasure to everybody. Mostly I was hired here because the school needed someone to cook food. I teach here because teaching and cooking are just ways of sharing love. So you can ask about the food. Food here is different. I'm not sure what I ate here, but it tasted good. What was it? Of course, he had the Irish food today, so he actually knew exactly what it was, but never mind that. The menu of the day is always posted on the wall outside the dining hall. The first semester is Cuisines of the World. We will be exploring the recipes, techniques, and flavors from all over. Prepare to be surprised every day. Some surprise be good for you, opens your mind, awakens the senses. Say goodbye. It was nice meeting you. You too, Ricky. We will be seeing you later, Sean. If you ever be needing to make a little money, come see me. I think maybe we can find something for you to do around here. Bon appetit. Bye-bye now. Still running mode. Very awkward. Let's go talk to her again. We now have, talked to Fataya, so you think you'll get the same license. She says, good day to you, Mr. Shanshan. How do you like liking the food today? Say something clever. Oh, that was such a delicate mixture of flavors and spices. You're a very gifted cook. It is never enough to have a gift. Everyone has gifts. Everyone must learn how best to use that gift. In some ways, cooking be a science. You have to try many things, make many mistakes to make something better than before. Laurie's a great experimenter in the kitchen, makes some really interesting things. I'm a bit of a beginner myself, but yeah, I can follow a recipe. Ask about the chef, ask about Ricky, ask about cooking. So do the students get paid to cook here? No, they pay to learn here. Cooking may be hard work, but it can be exciting and fun too. It'd be very worth doing. However, if you'd be interested in working, I do need help in the kitchen. It does not pay much, but it does pay money. In fact, I could be using you right now. And now you have the choice of accept, refuse, or put off the job. Clearly we want to accept it. So sure, I could use the money. And then we have a little video vignette of introducing you to the kitchen. And this was basically made up from panning across a big still of the kitchen area. Got some nice kind of Jamaican themed music in the background. African? I don't know. And she says, you do good work, Mr. Shanshan. Good job. And we'll say goodbye. I'll see you both later. Odigba, Master Shanshan. Bye-bye. So if we look now at our character sheet, inventory, we'll see we have 10 lira. So she paid us 10 lira for working there. And that's pretty good. That would be enough to buy a set of lockpicks, I think. Let's look at our journal. Free food. Seems like I'm getting room and board here. Getting caught and taken here might not be such a bad thing after all. So his reaction to supper. There wasn't a particular thing for the dinner. So looking around here, the tables. So massive they probably had to be built right inside the room. Yeah, I don't know about that. We have paintings of backers and other characters around here. Oh, there's a weird one. Look at the painting. The plaque says this is Michael Finn. Yeah, sort of like a Mickey Finn. He's quoted as saying, it's not easy hitchhiking across the savannah, but an adventurer must go where the work is. Well, apparently he hitchhiked in a Zeppelin. So we have again here a huge room that would have been half a dozen rooms or several rooms in a Sierra game. This is a very important table here. It's got a bowl of apples. And all soldiers and adventurers know that it is always good to have a little snack on you for when you can't get a full meal. Chef must have sent out this bowl of apples. They look great, brightly polished and fragrant. I've been known to polish a few apples myself, and quite handily, too. We can have a choice of take an apple or steal an apple. For now, let's go with take an apple. I'll just take the plumpest, juiciest one I could find. Too bad I had to touch all the others to do it. Oh, what a slob. Acquired apple. So never know when you might need an apple or something. Yeah, that got us up to almost 10. Better not get caught by Mr. Turk. Let's check out the rec room. It's not like anything's going on right now. We'll go in anyway. Curfew! To your room at once, says Turk. Oh, he gets everywhere. Aeolus says, Evening, roomie. There's a letter someone left in your bed for you. Huh. Letter from Mom. You can tell by the handwriting your mom wrote this note. I don't know how I'd do that from across the room, but sounds pretty perceptive. Hey, it's a letter from my mama. How did she know I was here? My dearling Sean, 'tis so very happy I am to hear that you are at the Harrow University. I can't tell you how proud it makes me feel to know that you have a chance at a brighter future. I have not gone to acting school. I guess you never would have guessed that. Take care of yourself there at the school. Be sure to make some new friends. Don't forget to study hard so you can get good grades and get a good job when you graduate. She doesn't know anything about her aspirations towards a thief job. Your dad would be so very proud of you too. Your loving mother, Nora. Well, maybe I should at least try to take the school seriously. It would make Mom happy. Let's go over and talk to Aeolus. Greet Aeolus. How's it going? I'm working on a song for my vocal performance class. Play us a tune, you're the panpipe guy. Play us a tune this day. Because we're all very fond of your panpipe song, and your music just blows us away. Now that is actually, of course, to a pop tune, and all the songs of the game are inspired by a wide range of classical, pop, and traditional songs. And he asks, what do you think? I don't know, how well do we want to get along with our roommate? I think we should be polite, evasive, or snarky about his songwriting ability. Now remember, all these songs are written by Laurie before you answer. I am going to answer evasively, increasing by smarts. I'm pretty sure that no one else would ever write such a song but you. Yes, it will be my signature song. Ask about the letter. How did the letter get here? I guess the staff must have left it. It was there when I came in. I've never gotten mail from my family, so I don't know. Oh, that's kind of sad. Get to know Aeolus. So, how did you find out about this school? My father is a scribe for the Prince of Sardonia. He was in charge of writing the writ to permit the Harrow University to open here. When Father saw at the university a school for bards, he thought it was a great idea to send me away to the far side of Sardonia. Got me out of the house. Here I get to study under Maestro Lorenzo, learn music, play instruments, and make friends. It's great. So, what about you? What brought you here? Let's just say that someone made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. You like that. You can tell them to clean the room, but... Alright, let's try it. But be polite. It would be nice if you could clean up the piles of junk in this room so I can move around without tripping over things. But if I put everything away, I'll never find anything. And say goodnight. See you in the morning. I'll be sure to advise you to rise and whine come the time to get up for sup. Can't pass your class if you sleep too deep. Oh, these bards. go study our lessons. Study our class notes. They're the opposite right now. As you acquire more books, you can study them as well. Let's see if I can read my own handwriting and actually learn something. Smarts increased. So it's just kind of generic studying. Into our character sheet, we can see our smarts are up to just 17. Haven't worked on it that much. Our charm is also 17. We're a pretty balanced character right now. Moxie 16. So we can kind of go any direction we want. We could go to sleep. We've been ordered to go to bed by 10, and it's, oh my god, it's 11:20 already. But that's not a roguish thing to do. Let's go see what's going down down in the rogue classroom corridor while everyone's asleep. First thing we can do is try to pick the lock in our own classroom. I just can't seem to get it. Have to work it out in the locker room a little more before we can do that sort of thing. We can come over here to the practice room and do things. Let's work on our climbing a little bit. We'll do the tightrope. Walk the tightrope. Climbing and agility increased. And he carefully tries to make his way over and falls. Ow! Definitely need more practice. It's now 12:40. I don't know if we're going to have time to do anything else, but let's go over to the locker room. At least try to pick the door of the lock. Or the lock on the door, as the case may be. I'm in! Let's do one of these practice locks. Yeah, I know, thieves do in the middle of the night, but rogues need our beauty sleep, so forget it. So this is keeping track of, it's almost 1 a.m. So you're not allowed to start something that would take you past 1 a.m. So I guess better head back to bed. Just to get my exercise this way. Come back and Aeolus is asleep. So I should be. Go to sleep. And we have some snoring sounds from Sean. Or maybe his roommate. Herr O'Connor, I suggest you pay attention to my lecture rather than the inside your eyelids. You'll get snarky comments from Master von Orvald anytime you go to sleep after midnight. So you're showing up in class tired, and he knows it. As I was saying, a rogue uses a variety of different methods and techniques in his actions. A classic skill common to both rogues and thieves is stealth. Unlike the common thief, who considers that stealth means to tiptoe around everywhere hunched over like a gargoyle, rogues learn a method of sneaking that relies more upon his intelligence and perception than upon his agility. Of course, part of the humor of this is when you actually see Sean sneaking in the game. He looks a bit like he's tiptoeing around, hunched over like a gargoyle. There's actually no difference between the way thieves and rogues sneak, but Orvald perceives that there is a difference in character between them. This is called the way of the Kuchenschaber. What? Heh, says Thomas Kent. Did you find something amusing in what I said, Herr Kent? Sprechen Sie Germanisch? Ein bisschen, Meister. That means a little bit. Then perhaps you will explain the meaning to those in our class who do not share your superior education. What does way of the Kuchenschaber translate to in common? The way of the cockroach, sir. Indeed, the lowly cockroach is our model for stealth. He does not move slowly around a room, hoping that nothing notices his movement and squashes him. The cockroach first stops to look around and assess any potential danger. He listens for threats. He looks for shadows or places to conceal himself. Only then does he scuttle to his next hiding place. Put this lesson into practice. Whenever you have need of stealth, first observe your environment, listen for potential danger. When appropriate, move directly to a place of concealment. Any questions? And the task on the list or journal entry is called Kuchenschaba or Kuchenschaba. You can ask a polite, clever, snarky question. I would say a name like that clearly deserves snarky. So the roach approach is to go and hide and go sneak so we don't get squashed like a bug. It's the first time I've been told that I need to be more cocky. Orvald is not thrilled with that, but Joel Cairo was amused. The way of the Kuchenschaba may one day save your life. Pause and observe before you react. And listen. So, not possibly the best way to get reputation with von Orvald, but made Joel happy. Let's look at our reputation page. We can see now that before we looked at this early in the game, it was all gray. We've now got more than half of the boxes filled in. Turk is an enemy, doesn't much like us at all. Master von Orvald is an acquaintance, he's accepting. Katie is an acquaintance. Esme, acquaintance. Pretty much that's where we are with everyone. Don't have a Soci rep in here. That's interesting. I guess I've never talked to Soci directly, so we don't know his reputation yet, but I can kind of guess. Gregor is a good friend. He was happy that you came to visit him at all, so he likes you. Here over in the journal, we have the lesson on the way of the cockroach. So we're not just supposed to sneak around behind Turk's back. We're supposed to stop, look around for danger, and then move into concealment. If I'd known that sooner, I might not have gotten caught and sent to this stupid school. Sounds like a useful skill to acquire. Looking back, tried to sleep in, but Aeolus made too much noise. Besides, I was hungry. Breakfast was weird, tasted like spicy chicken, but yummy. I was almost late for class eating it. Mysterious letter from Mama. In our task list currently, we're supposed to learn to pick locks, and that's not just finding the book, that's getting your skill up to a decent level. Have to learn how to play Poobah, and Kuchenschaba. It's just sneaking, that could be fun. We now have a new button at the bottom. We have a sneaking button. Hunched over like a gargoyle. Nobody will spot me like this. See, Joel isn't saying a thing. Hey, Joe. Good afternoon, Mr. O'Connor. Perhaps I might interest you in a few choice tools or useful information. Let's talk with Joel. Ask about tools. What do you mean by tools? In addition to my selection of basic tools of the trade, I've added a useful means of diffusing a potentially dangerous situation. Flash powder. Should you find yourself confronted by a hostile creature or creatures, you have but to throw the bag of powder down. All your opponents will be temporarily blinded, and you can seek safety. Of course, if you prefer, the flash powder will give you an opportunity to apply alternative tactics, rather than merely avoid the situation. That's like alternative facts. Let's ask about information. What sort of information are you talking about? I like to think of myself as a procurer of useful information. I would be quite happy to share a few choice rumors with you. For instance, do you recall Mr. Turk, who seemed to take such an interest in your future when he introduced you to the class? He makes a personal point of enforcing the 10 p.m. curfew. I think Sean already knows this. He regularly patrols the Great Hall and the mezzanine after hours. If he sees a student, Mr. Turk gives them 10 demerits and escorts them to their dorm room. It is best to avoid Mr. Turk whenever possible. If a student accumulates more than 100 demerits, the student is expelled from the school. I do not think that Turk likes you very much. Is that ever an understatement? Let's ask about Joel. How are things going with you today? Very well, thank you. Master von Orvald's lecture on tools was most edifying, was it not? If you have need of equipment for the class, please keep in mind that I will be happy to provide you with the finest of tools. For a very modest fee, of course. In other words, slightly more expensive than if you bought the same tools at the store. How's it going? Oh, it's good of you to ask. I'm, of course, happy to be of service to you. See you later. You can browse the shop. He has chalk. Oh, we paid 1 lira for our chalk. He charges 5. Lockpicks cost 10 lira at the store. They're 15 here. Fine dagger is 25 lira. I didn't notice if that was in the store. And the flash powder, 25 lira. This powder will blind an enemy and cause him to miss you. It's a good way to escape from a dangerous situation. So those prices are way beyond us so far. My stealth increased because I'm just stealthing around everywhere. Listen. Pick. So you get in kind of a rhythm of what you would think of in WoW as daily quests. Things that you want to do a lot of practice of, such as practicing your lockpicking, practicing your stealth, practicing your listening. And gradually over a period of time, your skills in those things will go up. Spending an hour lockpicking sounds like not very efficient, but you're guaranteed tool use for that. You'll get a fraction of a point by doing the other locks. So I've got my tool use up to 18. We're gradually working it up there. Now I drive Lori absolutely crazy playing this game because she runs everywhere and I sneak everywhere. Slowly go through. I will tell you, we spent quite a few bucks and a lot of time getting some sort of a stealth animation that had the feeling of the Quest for Glory stealth. It's the one our Outside Art House came up with originally. Just didn't have anything like our idea of what stealth ought to look like. Let's go see if I can do any better against these wooden target dummies. No! I don't keep giving him an opening. It's 4:45. Yeah, we'll do one dumbbell practice. It's going to take us on to supper time. He found that the dumbbells are a little bit too easy for him now. He's moved up to the kettlebells. I think we have these out of order. Probably should have been barbells rather than kettlebells, but it's okay. The idea is that they're graduated weights that as you get better in fitness, we're now up to all the way up to 34, and that's brought our maximum stamina up to 25. We're at 23 out of 25. Let's run a little faster, see if we get to the infirmary before dinner time. And again, all these locations are on the school maps that are in the PDF student handbook that comes with the game. By cutting it really close here and getting here close to supper, managed to avoid Turk's afternoon patrol. Store here is the infirmary. Last time we were here was nighttime, but it was locked. Can I hear anything? Someone moving around in there. Open the door. Oops, I'm late for dinner. Gotta rush. Didn't make it. If only I hadn't stopped to listen. Sean says the other has claws at the end of its paws. It's a punchline of an old joke. And Katie says, right, I don't get it. So to change the subject, has anyone figured out how to use the lockpick set we're supposed to have for class? Thomas said, the handbook Beginner's Guide to Lockbooks is quite useful. I know how to pick simple locks, but I do not have book. Is it good? I found the book very useful. There's a copy of it in the library if you'd like to take a look at it. Oh, that is good. I do not have money to waste. So this is if you had not happened to stumble across that book in the library. This would have given you the idea to go there. So there are a lot of these multiple threads that all through the game that give you clues about where to go, what to do. And Katie says you can always get a job working for Chef Kina. So if you hadn't gotten that idea from Gregor, you now have another thread to it. As he says, no thank you, I am not that desperate for money. And Turk comes on in and says, dinner time is over. Everyone clean up your areas and move on. Oh, thank you, main girl. Is that main girl or money girl? You undead? Let's try and open this door. It's locked. So I missed the infirmary again. Try to pick it. Tool use increased. I can't pick it. Gotta work on these things. Let me go back to the dining hall. Let's open the door. Nice reggae-ish theme here to love. Talk to Chef Ifataya. Hey, Kabo, Mr. Shanchan. You come seeking work? There is plenty of work for you here. I came to work, I came to chat, I came to do both. Came to take names and chew gum. I just came here to chat and then go to work for you. Very good, let us speak. Ask about Ifataya. So, where did you come from before you came here? I have done much traveling to different lands, learning the ways of people and the food. Just before coming here, I taught myself the cuisine of southern Belafrance. Don't people be silly. They call Riki pet. Don't be letting Riki learn. Well, the Belafrance people are kind of picky about anyone learning their cooking, actually. Riki did not like that the chefs of Belafrance forbade Riki to be in the kitchens. I think the chefs, they did not like it that Riki knows more about cooking than they do. Or maybe it's the story of Ratatouille. Next time we travel, Riki, do not tell the chefs better ways to do what they do. Listen to learn. Teach only those who be wanting to be taught. Let's ask about rumors. Are any interesting rumors going on at the school? He who gossips to you will gossip about you. Gossips they are no one's friend, so I do not listen to such tales, nor do I speak them. Let's go to work. I'd like to go to work right now. Good. With work, the sooner started, the sooner finished. That's a lesson that I've never learned personally. And then we have the music for here, but we only play the video once. I want to get boring. You can click it off anytime. And plus 10 lira, total 20. You do good work, Mr. Shanchan. Good job. I can talk to her some more. Ikabo, Mr. Shanchan. Hi, hi, says Riki. Ask about Day. How are things going for you today? Things go well, as usual. Say, Mr. Shanchan. Thank you. Say goodbye. Be seeing you later. Mari Elaipe, Mr. Shanchan. So we have little language lessons in here. Lori, tries to look up different authentic languages and intersperse them into the game to get a feeling. Let's see. Way back here is a country squire's portrait from the most remote corner of the dining hall, probably because his acreage is as remote as his painting. And look at the portrait. The gardener, keeper of his wildlife garden grove at the dark forest of Germania, doing research on whether meeps will eat oranges? Well, he seems to have had much leisure time to research such witty academic questions. It's so idyllic. I wonder how many goblins wait in the background, ready to mess with this garden as soon as the gardener goes home to sleep. A pity. Why doesn't this spot have magical protection? That's probably why he looks so sleepy. He must have been standing sentinel for hours and hours while researching. Where's a dryad when you need one? That's one of our backer portraits that we tried to, give some of the flavor of the Quest for Glory world, and was partly written by him and partly by us. Let's see if we can steal one of these apples while nobody's looking. Steal an apple. And got the apple, but if Ataya says, if you want an apple, just take one. Don't need to sneak around. Just make sure you leave some for the other students. Oops. Yeah, we got caught, but not in trouble, so I guess that's okay. Sneak around. Well, if Mr. Turk was here, we successfully snuck past him. So let's set the door up here. I don't hear anything. Okay. Gotta check out all these locations now and again because you never know. Oh, I think I hear people talking behind that door. Alright, well, let's listen at that. I can barely make out that someone is talking, but I can't make out the words. So probably don't want to go in there just now. Mr. Turk's office. Let's give that one. There's just a door. Some of these actually don't have anything much going on right now. It says this is not a good time to try that. Mr. Turk might catch me. Here's the Nido-Wing. This is a play on the Nido-King in Pokemon. And there's a magical symbol on the floor. This must be the magic room. But wait a sec, there's a scientific machine over there. This must be the science room. It's kind of both. Gentleman in the statue appears confident with both sword and wand. There's a small note after the name King Nido at the bottom of the statue. It says, warning, not a 100% king, was considered a king among men by the people who used to remember him, but then forgot him no matter how hard they tried. The statue may contain inaccuracies due to sculptor forgetting subject partway through. Well, that explains why I never heard of a King Nido. That's still the statue. No way I'd be able to lift that. But if I keep working out in the practice room, maybe someday I'll be able to lift that big book about him over there. There's a big book. Read the book. Nido may be one of the most enigmatic students Hiryu has ever had. Few students or teachers remember him because he had a natural talent to blend into a crowd and be unnoticed, and quickly faded from the memory of those who met him. This ability made him a shoo-in for the disbarred bard curriculum, but he chose to be a sorcerer, stating that he didn't like all that stealing business. He graduated near the top of his class, though not so near that anyone noticed, and is believed to have become a very successful hero, though nobody seems to remember having met him. He's donated generously to the school to help foster an environment where any student can become any type of hero, regardless of background or lack of skill. Wait a minute, I just finished that page and I can hardly remember what it said. Talk about stealth. Oh, we can try to steal the book. Let's see what happens there. Steal this book. I should avoid stealing such an important book. I'd rather not spend the rest of my life in an abbey. Besides, I can't even remember why I wanted to steal it. There's the door to the science lab. Maybe we can find Dr. Cranium in there. It's closed. Yes, Roberta asked, where's Dr. Cranium? It's closed. There's nothing like a normal lock on it. I have no idea how to open this thing. It's got a kind of permanent keep out vibe to it. Main girl says, King Nido, I kind of figured was a send-up to the QFT hero who's a true hybrid here, and because he's flat and blank, he can be anyone you want in terms of backstory and personality. And he is, in fact, that was a backer-contributed text. We did some light editing on it, but mostly kept it the way they liked it. And I think each one of these adds a little bit of character, and the idea that the alumni of either this school or the School for Heroes, are very unique individuals, let us say. Julie says she was wishing the science elective talked more about the pizza element. The pizza is a very important element, but somewhere in between Quest for Glory and Hero U, our son started lecturing us about the evils of carbohydrates and that we should reduce carbohydrates in our diet. So we've reluctantly cut back on our pizza. It doesn't mean we don't eat it, but it's no longer a daily thing. Look at the generator. What the world is this thing? Those bright flashes coming out, and why is the hair on my head standing up? Could it be some kind of device that makes hair combing easier? If so, it seems like overkill. This harkens back to the Quest for Glory 5 mad scientists. The somewhat mad scientist in Quest for Glory 4. That they're always making strange inventions to sit on the couch. If anyone called me sitting on the couch, it would seriously damage my reputation as a man of action. And we have strange scientific inventions that really have no use to anyone. But really cool. There's a crest. I think we had that as a coat of arms. Someone objected that was improper use of the term, or maybe objected to it being improper use of crest. Look at the symbol, a 5-pointed star, and a circle is a magic symbol and element. So later in the game, you'll have an opportunity to interact with the sea serpent, and perhaps you'll have learned something from that statue, and we'll get the best solution to it. And there's another room with a statue for Brother, and you get more to the story from there. Let's say, go back to the rec room or do the library. I think we should go to the rec room because we have a task. Listen at the door. No one's talking there right now. Open it. Here's a Bruce. We have a task in our journal to do. Learn to play Pooh-Bah. So let's try that. We still have the Kukenshaba task, because even though we've been sneaking, we haven't gotten really good at it yet. There's a book on the table. Musty dog-eared book. It looks like it's been read a lot. Look at the book. It's the Goram Mysterious Guide to Pooh-Bah. The subtitle is Strategy and Tactics to Win. I think it's supposed to be fun. That's a Firefly reference. They used Goram as their generic sort of curses. Ah, food has a ribbon. Thank you. I'm supposed to eat while I talk?
No, I think you'll eat while I do it.
Okay. Let's read the book. Concentrate a book in the rec room tonight. So, this can be a little annoying, but it's also a challenge. The time limits. Let's look at the book. So we don't have time to read that, and it's after 9, and we're just done anyway. Stop the stream, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. So, thanks everyone. See you in a bit.